Hi guys, so what you've just heard there was the Electro-Harmonix East River Drive pedal. So the East River Drive is another tube screamer style pedal, but this was actually designed by Piera of AnalogMan. So he's the guy behind the famous King of Tone Overdrive pedal. But it wasn't until fairly recently, a couple of weeks ago, that Mike put up a post on Instagram explaining his involvement with the design of this pedal. So Electro-Harmonix never really used it as like a marketing point or anything like that, surprisingly. So not a lot of people actually realise that this pedal was designed by Mike Piera. So like I say, it's a tube screamer style pedal. It's very close to the original TS-808 kind of circuit design. It uses the same JRC 4558 IC chip, which is thought to be a big component of what gives the tube screamer its sound. And Electro-Harmonix actually made this pedal to the exact spec of Mike Piera's design, basically. So it's exactly how he designed it. And like all Electro-Harmonix pedals, they're assembled in New York City. I think the boards are like made and populated overseas. But then all of like the off-board wiring and the final assembly is done in New York. The pedal's also true bypass, and it can be powered by a 9-volt battery or a 9-volt power supply. So obviously all of that sounds like a great deal. You know, the pedal sounds awesome as well. Obviously you heard a few clips at the start of the video. So you know, it's great tone. It does the tube screamer thing really well. But how does it actually compare to a real tube screamer? So we're going to have a listen to a few clips now, kind of A being the East River Drive to an actual TS-808, and we're going to see kind of how close it sounds. So, I mean, listening to those clips back, I personally cannot hear much of a difference at all there. I think that's, you know, potentially as close as it could possibly be without being the same tone. So I think, you know, it's pretty clear that you know, this pedal does the whole tube screamer thing, like, you know, basically perfectly. Even like not just tone wise, like feel wise, you know, A being between the two. While I'm playing, like I literally can't tell a difference. So one thing I will point out though is that in the clips that you've just heard there, the TS-808 was set with all of the controls at 12 o'clock, whereas on the East River Drive I had to adjust the controls slightly to get that tone match so close. So all I had to do though was bring the drive down to about 10-11 o'clock, the volume down to about the same, yeah, 10-11 o'clock on that as well, and then the tone controller just nudged up very slightly, not quite 1 o'clock, just above 12 o'clock, and that, you know, was pretty much a exact tone match really. So the East River Drive does have a little bit more gain available on tap than the TS-808. So I don't actually know if you know, I suppose that kind of makes this a little bit more versatile than the TS-808 perhaps, because you know, I've been able to match the tones pretty much perfectly between the two pedals, but then this also can you know, do some higher gain tones than what the TS-808 can do as well. But yeah, it's definitely a really cool pedal, and definitely one of the best tube screamers that I've ever tried out. I have to say, I'd never really heard of it until seeing Mike's post on Instagram. So I thought I'd check it out based on that. But yeah, definitely one that's worth considering if you're in the market for a tube screamer style pedal. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, feel free to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.